know this one. Look for the car on the roof. Did I do that right? Car on the roof. There we go. If you have lived in Phoenix long enough, you've either heard that ad on the radio or you drove by Coulter Cadillac and you saw the car up on the roof for yourself. Dealership itself celebrating a major milestone. It turned 100 years old. And then, of course, that car on the roof has an interesting story of its own. It was 1923. Much like today, the streets of Phoenix were lined with palm trees. The city was a hub, an oasis in the desert, even then. And much like today, Coulter Cadillac was one of the busiest car dealers in town.
Pretty sure that's in the old showroom down on Central Avenue.
The more things change, the more they stay the same. Just ask Bill Coulter.
I was involved in the business since I was 8th grade, probably. In fact, I worked at the old location, which is down on Central Avenue.
Bill says his great-uncle, C.W., started it all.
He came from Northern California, a small town outside of San Francisco, decided to move to Phoenix to kind of make his fortune, so to speak.
A fortune, decades in the making, the brand rich in history, 100 years later.
Because I actually love history, so I love the car business, but the part that it's family owned and operated and we develop a family together and all of that history and that just gives you so much more pride in the store and knowing that, you know, that lineage is part of your entire life.
Lindsay Coulter's 4th generation. Her dad took the business over in the 80s from her grandfather, who joined CW, her great-great-uncle, back in the day. In 1932, the dealership was called Snow and Tufts. When CW moved up from brand manager, the name was changed to Coulter Motor Company, and they were awarded the Cadillac franchise from General Motors. The business grew from 15 employees in 1926 to what it is today. Dave Amtor has been a technician here for 26 years.
The name, people respect it, and we built a pretty good customer base and get a lot of loyalty out of that.
The dealership itself is housed in a 3-story building, and a little over 20 years ago, the GM at the time had the idea to put a car on the roof.
We're going to go show you how that's done.
General Manager Paul Glantz drove us up 3 ramps to show us how they put the car on the roof.
We have a turntable up there, and the car is driven up on the turntable, and a switch is hit, and it spins around. Real easy.
Once I get to the top, you get a nice view of the city, and it is pretty high. It is a little bit scary, but once you get up top and you look at all the surroundings, on top of the buildings, it's crazy to see how high you actually are once you're up here.
The car stays on the roof for about a week. Unless it's sold sooner, then it's switched out right away. No matter the model, one thing is for sure. The car on the roof gets a lot of attention. And it will stay there for what the Coulter family says will be another 100 years, no matter what else changes.
It's always changing. Obviously, the internet has changed all types of retail. It's dramatically changed the car business, but it still boils down to taking care of customers.
That's a cool story.
It was,
yeah, the history is so neat. So Lindsay, Bill Coulter's daughter, 4th generation, will be taking over. And so it's just neat to see the history, the old cars, and how long they've been here in Phoenix.
And I wonder, do they take it down like when a monsoon storm hits or something like that?
I will ask them that.
Because, you know, those
they said that they leave it up. They leave it up there until it's sold. Sometimes it sells that day. They're going to put a car right back up on the roof. If not, they try to switch them out every couple of weeks.
People just show up and say, I want that one.
I want that. That's exactly what happened.
Right there.
But can you wash it first, please?
Yeah. I climbed up into the car to shoot the little promo up there. And it's intimidating when you look over the edge and you see the street.
100 years, that's crazy. So 1923, you think the autos were pretty new back then?
Yeah, they were.
There you go.
In the valley. Very cool.
Yeah.
Good job, Coulter. Okay. We've got more stories coming your way. Oh, your Cool House.
That's right.